Yes, the older version of the West Coast Eagles theme song. I believe that's now the new version again of the West Coast Eagles theme song. West Coast Eagles General Manager of Footy, Gavin Bell, joins me on the show. We've got the right version there, haven't we, Gavin?
I'm not sure how it's all been finalised, Duff, to be perfectly honest. I'm just hoping that we sing it, mate, regardless at the end of the game.
That's a good point. That's the main point of having a theme song, to get to sing it after you've won a game of footy. So you get to play a game on Sunday, your first game under new coach Andrew McWalter. How has the pre-season been?
We're really excited for Sunday, and hopefully we get a really great turnout for our first game against Gold Coast Suns. And our fans to get along and to see the start of a new chapter of our footy club, Duff. Andrew's come in and and we've had probably 7 or 8 other new staff in our footy department this summer come through, and we've made some significant change to the way we go about our footy and some of our programs, and we've made some real gains there. But we're really excited for Sunday and getting underway under Mini.
What style of football will we see West Coast pursue? We've seen a little bit of it on the pre-season against Richmond and then against North Melbourne down in Bunbury. What will people see when they go along to the game?
Well, we're hoping to be able to show, we showed it in quarter 2, I think, against North Melbourne, a style that allows us to go quickly, to be dynamic, to be strong in the contest, and just force turnovers as quick as we can. So nothing really changes from the messaging that Mini's been able to talk about publicly and our players have talked about publicly. We're going to be just looking to be able to do that consistently throughout games, and that's going to be our challenge, and we're really up for that and really excited about the opportunity to show that on Sunday.
Will we see a debutant on Sunday? Will Bo Allen be in the team?
Well, we've got to watch out for Bo during the week. He's been really unwell, unfortunately, prior to the weekend and over the weekend, so it's looking unlikely for Bo, but he's been super impressive this summer, but we do acknowledge he's been unwell. So unlikely at this stage.
Archie Reid has been another young player we've seen a little bit of the pre-season. How are his prospects heading into Sunday?
Yeah, he's certainly a strong chance, I think, Duff. He's really mobile, big fella. He's getting better in the air. We're still working through some improvement there with his overhead marking and so on. He's getting up there, and bringing him down is going to be continuing a work in progress for us with Arch, but he's really up for that challenge. But he's terrific at ground level. He's got good follow-up. So we'll train today, main train Thursday, and he'll certainly be in the mix and part of the conversation for match committee.
Interesting to see the way Andrew's structured up with his ruckman over the pre-season. It appears that Matt Flynn is your number one ruckman, and it appears that Bailey Williams is playing more as a forward, and that Archie Reid has spent a bit of time on the ball as well. Is that the way you expect to go if Archie Reid is in the team, or is Bailey Williams still a chance to do a reasonable amount of ruck work?
Yeah, I think it's still very much open, Duff. The finalised key ruck position, it's certainly a battle between those two guys at the moment, Bailey and Flinney. Training is going to be really important for us, and for us, the best part of all of this stuff is that we've got options and that we've got an opportunity to make some decisions at selection this week. I think we've got somewhere between 36 to 38 available, touch wood, as we head into round 1. So gives the match committee and the coaches plenty of choices to make, and also hopefully allows us to field a really strong waffle side on Saturday evening when we play West Perth.
Oscar Allen missed your last pre-season game. Will Oscar be available to play Gold Coast?
Yeah, Oscar's fine and ready to go. He missed the North game. He was the best man at his brother's wedding, and we sort of knew, obviously, 4 to 5 months out that was the case. We didn't know the fixture, and that's just how it fell. So he missed that game, but really looking forward to Oscar and Duggo leading our team out for round 1.
Can you give the listeners a bit of an update on the contract talks for Oscar? Obviously, they're taking a little bit of time, and both parties are sort of trying to work towards common ground. I know it's difficult to talk about contracts, but can you give people a bit of an update as to where that sits?
Well, as far as I'm aware, that Oscar really wants to be at our footy club, and we really want Oscar to be here as well. He's had a really good pre-season. He's managed all the loads after missing sort of half the year last year. he's had a strong summer. We're looking forward to him getting out there and playing. And with regards to the contract, that's just ongoing conversations. It's a negotiation, as all contracts are. So we're just working our way through that. But Oscar's a really important part of what we do and where we want to head to in the future. So really keen to make sure Oscar stays at West Coast.
I'll get the ticklish ones out of the way quickly, Gavin. Harley Reid, obviously, is the other big contract, the big ticket contract. We've got questions in from Phil from Como and also Clayton. What's the timeline to put a contract offer to Harley that he either takes or leaves? Because obviously the key period we all feel for Harley in terms of a decision on his future is at the end of this season while he still has a year of a contract to run. How does the club navigate those waters this year?
Yeah, we're in ongoing conversations with his management group and with Harley. Again, it's a difficult one because he's 19 years of age and he has the world at his feet at the moment, to be honest. So we will continue to work through that. Our goal is obviously to have Harley re-sign. We don't have a time frame on that because we don't really want to rush it until Harley's ready to have those conversations as well and to get something in front of him and his agent. We've continued to work through that, what that could look like. But just really keen to have Harley with us, Duff.
Are you confident you'll have Harley with you in 2026?
Yeah, I am. There's been no inside or information that's made me concerned about that at all.
Elijah Hewett, I think, is one of your most exciting young players, and the fact that he wasn't able to get out there last year was a massive blow for the club. You're managing him very carefully this year. What's the status for him in terms of round one selection?
Yeah, at this point in time, he's available for selection. He's had a good summer. You're right, he's had a lot of interruptions. The poor bugger over his first 2 years of being in the AFL system. But I think we've talked about him before, Duff. He is quick. He is dynamic. He's got good goal sense. He's hard and tough at the ball. So, yeah, he's certainly a young player that we're really excited about and looking forward to hopefully getting some continuity into his footy and playing a long time at West Coast for us. Is
the management of Elijah, given the nature of his injuries and the fact that, it's down the bottom end of his body, which means it carries the whole weight of his bodies in his feet, does that mean he's going to have to be an ongoing management issue, or do you feel like you're on top of it?
There's ongoing management for all of our players, to be perfectly honest, Duff. We've got some key markers that we track with Elijah, but to your point earlier, the fact that he missed an entire season of football means that there's a gap in his progress as he's developed through his first 2 years in the system. So we need to be really conscious of that and respectful of that. And when Elijah's playing, if it's this week, that we give him the chance to play the entire season.
A question from Graham from Padbury, who's a keen Eagles fan and a very keen student of the game, Gavin. He said, can you ask Gavin how the Waffle side is tracking? Both Nelson and Rusco quietly departed over the off-season and haven't been replaced by anyone of equivalent quality. A lot has been made about recruiting concessions, but it hasn't translated into new players joining the club. How active was the club in chasing players during the off-season?
Well, thanks to Graham for the question. And our Waffle program is headed up by Steve Truella, who was at West Perth for a long time prior to that, and they report in through to Woosha with the way our new structure is. So my understanding of the recruiting of Waffle listed players is the guys did a hell of a lot of work to try and get as many players through as they can. We've got to keep creating a great environment for them and giving them the best chance to be a really competitive side with our AFL availability and our AFL talent. So from my perspective and in my role, it's knowing that we go into this week that we'll have 36 to 38 available AFL listed players. Of that means that hopefully we have somewhere between 12 to 14 guys playing that are listed that'll play in our Waffle team this week. So that's our goal. The Waffle side is a really important development tool for us to improve our players, but we also want to create a winning environment down there as well so that other players want to come and play for us too.
How tough has it been for you, given the struggles, I guess, that the Waffle team has had, and a lot of it's been about injury, but it has also been about very almost draconian sort of recruiting concessions put upon you by the WAFL and the inability to get a competitive unit on the team in the waffle and give your younger players a really good environment to develop in. How big a setback has that been for you over the last 2 to 3 years?
Oh, it's certainly been a challenge, but looking at it purely from our perspective, we have had large injury toll for a couple of years there. That hasn't been ideal for our waffle team as well as our AFL listed players playing in that side. So yeah, it's been challenging, but our focus is on building a strong, fit, and durable group of AFL listed players, again, to give us the best chance to create an environment down there where there's a focus on development and there's a shared focus on winning.
We saw Tommy Barras run around for Hawthorn against Sydney on Friday night. Obviously, it means opportunity for Harry Edwards in your team. How has Harry been tracking? Is he the guy that plays alongside Jeremy McGovern at the back in the early games this year? And the other question, I guess, in terms of depth in that area, how's Rhett Bazzo been going and how's his body over this pre-season?
Yeah, so Harry, I thought Harry played really well against Nick Larkey down in Bunbury. So I'm sure he'll be in that starting frame there with the coaches. He's made some really good gains over the summer, and as you said, now there's an opportunity there with Tommy having left to go to Hawthorn. So yeah, Harry's been going really well. And again, like I said, I thought he played a strong game against Nick Larkey last week, 2 weeks ago. And Rhett, it was so pleasing on Friday. We did some match play leading into the weekend. Rhett was part of that. He did some work on Jake Waterman and competed really strongly. So we're hoping that Rhett will be up and available in the next couple of weeks in the waffle side, even by round one waffle, hopefully. So just to give him a chance to play some footy. And he's another one, as you know, Duff, just has not had the continuity to play week in, week out, show us what he's got, but also continue to develop. So, there were some really great signs on Friday and really buoyed by what we saw.
One of the great signs over the pre-season has been the form of Jake Waterman. Looks like he's ready to back up that All-Australian year last year.
Yeah, Jake's leadership has gone to another level. He and Oscar have the ability to really work well together. They complement each other well. Jake's got a really strong footy IQ, so he's able to help the players around him. And yeah, I've seen no sign of Jake resting on his All-Australian laurels. He's been out there trying to get better every session, and I just think it holds him in great stead, and it's a great example to our other players around him.
It's been a tough few years, Gavin. This feels like a fresh start. How's the atmosphere around the club, and how's Andrew been in the lead up to his first game for premiership points?
Surprisingly, from many, I have not seen a change in him at all this week as compared to the weeks before, or even weeks when we were together in December. So he's been very measured. We're all really excited about the weekend and the new era and the new chapter for our footy club. But we also acknowledge there's a lot of work to do. It doesn't just get fixed in one summer. We've been chipping away for 12 months or so to try and improve our team and improve all the aspects of our footy department. We feel like we've made some really good progress there, but we also acknowledge there's a lot to do to be one of the top teams again and to be fighting for a premiership. So we're excited about what lays ahead, but acknowledge there's plenty of challenges along the way to come, Duff.
One last quick one before I let you go. Liam Baker and Jack Graham, both ready to go this weekend. They look to be like they were going to be pretty important players for you against North.
Yeah, they're both great competitors, play the game in the right way, bring a lot of spirit and a lot of energy to the way we play and to our group. Both, I'm pretty sure they're both dual premiership players as well, so they've got great experience. They've been fantastic for our group, as has Matt Owies coming in as experienced, traded in players, and we've been really wrapped with those guys, what they've brought on the field, into our training, but also off the field with their leadership and their approach to their football as well.
All three play this weekend?
Yep, at this stage they're all three ready to go.
Gavin, thanks so much for joining us on the show. Look forward to your input on the show during the course of the season. Good luck against Gold Coast on Sunday. Go well.
Thanks very much, Duff, and hoping to see as many Eagles fans on Sunday as we can, mate. That'd be great.
Gavin Bell. He is the West Coast Eagles General Manager of Footy. Of course, their first game under new coach Andrew McWalter against the Gold Coast Suns at Optus Stadium this Sunday.